Hi everybody, June here from Red Daisy Crafts. I'm so glad to be here. My name is June Leindecker and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from San Antonio, Texas, and I like coming on every Sunday and bringing you some alternate projects using the monthly paper pumpkin kits. So if you're not familiar with the paper pumpkin kits, it is a craft kit that can come to your house on a monthly basis. It's a subscription box that includes fun crafting projects. Most of the time, there are cards included. So if you enjoy making handmade cards to send to your family and friends, then this kit is for you. So I'm excited to be here tonight. Hello, Wanda. Hi, Melanie. Thank you for joining. It is a great kit this month that we've been playing with. This is our last week to play with the Daisy Daydream, and I'm really excited to be here this evening. Have some ideas, but I haven't made any of the samples, so we're gonna make them together, and I think that's the most fun. So if you are joining us live, leave a comment, tell us where you're from, share your love for paper pumpkin with everybody here, and we are going to go down to the table after just one more announcement. So we are now in the subscription period for April, and that is the Inked Occasions. The Inked Occasions is the kit. I'm going to put us to the table, so switch us around a bit, and it's this box right here, okay? And so this one's going to include cards with hand-painted alcohol ink designs. I'm really excited about that because I just love the alcohol inks and our alcohol markers, the blends, and so I just think it's going to be great. I can't wait to see what's going to be inside the box. Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining. So glad you're here. I hope the weather in Pennsylvania is nice for you today. We have had a sunny day here in San Antonio, Texas. So let's go ahead and dig in. So I have a couple of fun folds that I want to create today with you. And I have my little notebook here, and I have kind of come up with my two plans for the day. So we're going to start with an angle fold, an angle fun fold card that we are going to make. So I'm looking forward to this. I think I've made one like this before, but I'm kind of designing on the fly, if you can understand that. So we are going to start with a card base, and I'm using one of the card bases from the kit. So it is the one that has a little bit of a texture background. And hey, Susan, thanks for joining. So glad you're here. Oh, Michelle, it's kind of windy and dreary. I'm sorry to hear. Perfect crop day, though. That's right. So yeah, so great to have everybody here. It's great to see all of you popping in. So we are going to start with this card base that came in the kit, okay? And it is 5.5 by 8.5, already scored at 4.25. And we are going to be folding the card in this direction, okay? But what I want is whenever we fold the card to the front, that we have this bottom is it's going to be angled here. So we are going to trim on this side from the upper, so on the right side of the card base, with the outside facing up, we are going to trim from the upper center, to the lower right end. So I am just going to put that right into my trimmer. And I am going to trim this card base. So I am just lining up the corners in the cut trough here. And we are going to just cut this right off. So just like so. And so now whenever we fold it, we have this angled card, okay? And the white is on the inside. And we have this piece that I don't think I'm going to use for anything, but I'm going to save it in case I want it for something else. So that is how our card is going to start, okay? And then we are going to cut a piece of cardstock, and we're going to use crumb cake, and we're going to cut this down to 9 by 3 inches. So I'm just going to trim this down to 3 inches right here, and like so. All right. And then I am going to cut off, and I'm going to go, I already have a score line in here, so I'm going to cut off 1 inch on either end. And that's going to get me to the 9 inches that I want. But if you are cutting yours without the score line, you would have 9 by 3, and then you would have a score line at 4.5 on the long edge. So I'm just cutting off 1 inch here, and then that our piece is going to be 9 by 3 inches. Okay, so there's our piece. It's going to get folded just like that. And as you can imagine, it's going to go, the card is going to be like that. So that's the little bit of the fun fold. This is going to flip up, and this is going to flip up. So we are just getting started with that. But love this card design. So that is the piece we have there. Then I am going to need 2 pieces of basic white that are 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut this to 4 1/4. I had this scrap piece, so 4 1/4. And then I need this to be 2 3/4. So I'm trimming this piece down to 2 3/4, like so. Okay, so that's 1, and I need 2 of these. Okay, so we're going to cut 1 more at 4 1/4, and then this at 2 3/4, and just like that. Okay, now that piece is, those 2 pieces are going to be used with the crumb cake, and they are going to fit on the inside, okay, like so, and on the outside. Okay, so we're going to put some things on here. So that is the 2 pieces we need for that. Okay, then we are going to need let's see, okay, now I am going to need a piece of cardstock that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 inches, like so. And then this needs to be 5 1/4. Okay, so that is like that. And this is going to be used on the inside of our card. So if I bring my pieces back, this is going to go on the inside of the card, like so. All right, and then these 2 pieces are going to go here. So if we put this on here, and it's going to get all centered, right? This is going to fold over like that, and this is going to come over like so. Okay, so now we need we're going to use some of our envelope to create some DSP paper pieces that we need. So let me get some of this stuff out of the way because I don't need that. Okay. And we're going to use the envelope for this. And so let's see here. Okay. So now I need a piece of the envelope that is going to be, I'm hoping I can make this work. Because what I want, I may have to pick a different envelope, but what I want is for this to go in the corner, but it does, maybe if I scoot it, oh, I think that'll work just fine. Okay, so I'm going to have to trim this pretty good. So let's see, let's go ahead and open up our envelope to see what we can get here. So that I can get as much of the pattern as possible. So I'm going to trim this off. Okay. And having some issue. I changed my blade last week, but maybe I have like paper stuck in my trimmer. I think maybe that was part of the issue last week. All right, so we are going to open this up. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this off just on the other side of the score line so that I can get a nice clean cut. There we go. All right, and so now I need this piece to be all flat on one side. So I'm just scooting it over and we're going to lose some of the design. But I need a straight edge over here. So I think that's going to do it. And now I need this piece to be 5 1/4 inches. Okay. Like that. All right. And then I need this to be 4 inches. Like so. And now we're going to cut this on the diagonal from here to here, upper left to lower right corner. And this is going to be one of our layering pieces. I might have to just put the needle in. There we go. That's what I needed to do. There we go. All right, so now this is going to be a layering piece. Got a little bit crinkled there. And I'm not even going to keep this. I don't think I will use it for anything. I just know I needed this design. Okay, and so this is going to go right on to the front of the card base like so. Okay, and remember the inside is going to have this yellow. And so that's going to be so nice, right? So nice. So that is that piece of it. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is on these two white pieces, we're going to do some scoring that is going to be really for the purpose of some embossing. Okay. So I am starting, I'm going to do the top part first, okay? And so we're going to score it 1/8 of an inch, so just 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to go up 1/8, so now I'm going to score at 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to go to 3/8 of an inch, okay? And all I'm doing is making a little score line at the top. So if you can see that on the screen, we can get it to focus. There we go. I think you can see it ever so slightly, but the 3 lines there, and it just makes a nice little indentation, you know, or recess, for the front of, and we're going to do this on the front and the inside. That last one, I want it to be a little, there we go. Now it's going to be better. Okay, so I'm going to do the top on that one, and I want to stamp first on this before I do anything else, but we're going to go ahead and do the scoring on this one all the way around. So we're just gonna take a couple minutes here and do this. And I don't know if you've ever done this before, but it really gives a very, very nice classy look to your cardstock. You can't do this with the DSP much because it'll tear, but it's nice with the cardstock. And you could do one line. I decided on 3. I just think it's really a nice finish. And so I think it's going to be really beautiful for this card. And have you guys ever done this before with your cardstock to give it a design, you know, as opposed to an embossing folder? It's just another option that you have. It's a lot of fun, I think. And, you know, it doesn't take that long. It takes a minute, but not too long. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Melanie. I appreciate you joining and liking and all the things. I don't remember to ask people to do that very often, so it's nice that you thought of it and said so. So there we have it. There's our little score lines, and I think that it's just a fun little way to do things, Michelle. Thanks. I'm glad you're going to give it a try. All right, so we have that piece done. So now I want to do some stamping on the front. And so I'm going to set my trimmer aside for the moment and get the foam mat out. So I wanted to figure out where I want my sentiments. So that's why I stopped after these first 3 up here. And so I think for here, I am going to use, let's see, I think that might be too big, but the sweetest birthday I think will fit. Let's try it on this one and see. Oh, it's a little bit. You know what? Maybe I'll do Wishing You Brighter Days Ahead. I could use a card like that. And I think it's a very nice sentiment for us to have. And so let me get my blocks out because I haven't gotten them out yet. And let's just get our block on here. I don't know if I've used this stamp before, so I'm gonna just do my little rubbing on here. That's what I've been doing to get the residue off of the stamps the first time. Makes your stamp, when you rub your finger on it, it just makes it kind of cloudy looking. And I'm gonna get a little fun paper here to test it out. Where is my Lost Lagoon? Let's see. Here it is. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice stamp. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and put that at the top of here. And then we'll do some other stamping. So let's just put that right up here. I think that's in the center. It's good enough. There we go. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, now I want to bring in the flower stamp here that we have. And I am going to stamp this in the what am I going to stamp it in? I think I guess I'll still use and we're just going to do the line item, the lining of it. I haven't done any coloring, and I kept thinking I would do some coloring, but we're not going to do that today. We're just going to keep with the plan. So, so we're going to come in and we're going to add the flower down here in the corner like so. And I think that's what we're going to do on here for now. I think that's going to be perfect. All right, so you could do this with the Memento and come in with your blends. You could do it, I think I would probably do it with the stays on, and then if I wanted, use a watercolor pencil and stuff like that. I'm just leaving it simple with just the line work, and that's going to be just fine. So now I'm going to get my trimmer back here, and we're going to do the rest of the score lines on here. And but I wanted to do the stamping first because that way it would not cause any problems based on where I put my stamp or the score lines. Okay, so and I'm okay if it goes over where I stamped. That's just fine with me. It's just really to give it that little texture. And it's just a nice little classy look. That's all I can say. Oh, I just dropped something. Sorry if I made a big noise. So how's everybody doing? Have you used your kit? Or have you finished your kit? Are you still looking for ideas? It has been such a fun kit that I'm looking forward to making a few more cards. Oh, I already did that. Oh, there we go. So that is how that turned out. And I don't know if you can see those lines that well, but I just love it. It looks so cool. And just gives that little extra texture to it. So this is super fun. And what we might do is also bring in some of the flowers or the bee from the kit. But for now, I think we're ready to start putting our card together. Now, I wonder, did I want to put anything else here? Wishing you brighter days ahead. I think I'm leaving it blank so that I could write a message in there. The only thing I was thinking is that I could put the bee in there. I haven't used the bee yet. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll stamp that on the inside. I don't know if I need that little one or not. I haven't stamped this. So let's try that before we start to put our card together. grab a little couple blocks here and just do my little rubbing again. I think it would be a nice little add on the inside. So where's my little test paper? And keep losing track of my ink. Oh, that looks like a nice stamp. Oh, that's really beautiful. Have you guys used this bee? I mean, look at that. It's so pretty. Oh, yes. It is, Michelle. I just love it too. All right. So, too quick. Took the foam mat away too quick. All right. So, let's put the bee on here. I'll just put it down here at the bottom. And then there's a place to write a sentiment. Oh, I love it. I love it. Very nice. Okay. All right. I think we're ready to put our card together. And yeah. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is put this down on the inside of here. And I have my multi-purpose liquid glue right here. So got that. This is going right here. Like so. I love this bright yellow. The Daffodil Delight with it. Oh, it's so pretty. Now I got this, and this is going to go right onto here. And let's get a little bit down here in the corners. Very nice. All right, where's my bone folder? Very nice. Oh yeah, the gold with the bees, I bet is so pretty. All right, so now let's put this little piece together. And this is going to go on the inside right here. And yes, the bee die, if you haven't used it, what Susan is referring to, it is very pretty, especially if you use gold foiling. So pretty. And the hive, the little die that's the hive, that comes out really nice too with the gold foiling. So this is going to go right on top of here. Okay. Just like so. And perfect. Now I did already get out a couple of the flowers. Like I was thinking of putting, you know, some of this on here, and I suppose we could still do that. I might trim off some of this. Might trim some of this off. So let's see here. If I were to just come and trim like that. Kind of like it angled across here. I think that looks good. What do you think? kind of like it on here. And then we could put a bee on here with it. Even put the bee down here. On here. Oh, thank you, Wanda. That's so sweet of you. I had a really busy week last week, and I just have been super tired this weekend and haven't gotten ahead to where I'd like to be. And so I'm getting a dimensional. I'm going to pop this big flower up with a dimensional right there. So it kind of gives a little shadowing there. And perfect. So I think that looks good. What do you think? I like it. And we have a place for our sentiment. And so now this gets put on the inside of here. And I'm just going to line it up on my grid paper to help me get it straight. Okay. And so I am going to just put glue right on the back of here, because this gets put straight down to the card like so. And so that is our card. What do you think? I think it is so fun. I feel like I've made one before, but it's been a very long time and I just wasn't sure. Lots and lots of fun. I hope you like it. You know, there's a ton of ways you could do this, and you could use all kinds of different materials and everything, but this was a lot of fun. So nice card. And it still stands up, which I like that about it. I don't know if you can see that, but it would still stand up. And you have a place to ride. It's a fun card. Fun. Oh, we want to put our bee on. Let's put a bee on. Where are my little tiny dimensionals? Right here. All right. Put that bee on. Well, maybe up here. There. Oh, yeah. Cute. Very cute. All right. That's our first card. Now, the second card is, and I'm going to just get my little book here so that I can flip my page over. Now, I got this idea. I saw a video from Patty Bennett, and she called this a double triangle fun fold, and she got it from Kristen Del Rosario, I think is her name. Anyway, we're going to give it a go. There's also, again, a lot of little parts to it, but I think we can get it together here, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. So we're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to use let's see, what did I decide? I'm going to use the yellow, the Daffodil Delight card base. I don't think the one I just cut is the right size, but let me see. Maybe it'll be just what I need and I won't cut this one. All right, so I need a piece that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. Looks like we're going to be able to do it. So 5 1/4. By 4 1.25. That's what's throwing me off. Is I guess our normal card base size is 4.25 by 5.5, and this is just a quarter short of that. So, all right, so we have that piece. Then we need a piece of cardstock that is 4.25 by, 4 inches by 10 inches. Okay. And so I'm going to use Early Espresso. This is, it's not a big a vocal part of the card colors. It's kind of going to get covered up, but I also like that the brown mixes in with the colors, because when I show you the DSP we're going to bring in, I think it'll make sense. So you might be thinking, whoa, this is strange. But it's going to come together. So 4 inches here. Here's the cutting. 4 inches. And then we need it by 10. So I got my extension out here. So 10 inches, like so. And then this gets scored at 5 inches. So we're just going to go ahead and score it while we're here. Okay. So we have that piece, and so you can see it's going to go right on here, like so. Okay. All right. So we have that, and then this is the DSP paper that I'm bringing in, and this again is from that wicker, had all the little basket weaving stuff, and so this is just going to be, like a linen look on it, but it has the texture in it, and so the dark brown just kind of fits right in with it. Okay, so I think we're going to be good to go. But we need, for here, I need a piece that is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So let's just cut this 3 3/4. Oops. 3 3/4. So I'm going to set that aside for a moment. By 4 3/4. Okay. And this is what's going to go right on top of the Early Espresso. So see, that's so nice together. All right, now I'm going to bring back the piece of DSP that we have. And I need 1 inch by 12 inches. So this is for a belly band. So very fun. And I think that's all I need the DSP for. Okay. And so we have that piece. Now I'm going to use this card base from the kit. And we need 2 of these. I need 2 of these at 3.5 by 3.5. Okay, so I'm going to get one on this side and one on this side. Okay, and so I do want to trim off like 1/4 inch here, just so I want to get into the flower a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to do the 3.5. So I have all the flowers, okay? And now I'm going to cut 3.5 off this side, okay? So I have a square there. And then I'm going to have 3.5 from this side, okay? Now both of these pieces are going to get cut, or I'm sorry, not cut. They're going to get scored from corner to corner, okay? And so I'm just going to go ahead and score this one first, So just lining up my corners. Never amaze you how hard it sometimes can be to get these corners lined up just when you think you have it. You don't. Okay, so there's the first one. All right, and that's going to get folded like that. All right, and then I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do it from this side to this side. I think that was the same, but basically, there we go. Got it? All right, so that going to get folded like that, okay? And this is not going to be seen, and I know it seems wasteful, but I think you'll like what we end up with, okay? And then we are going to need a couple of items punched out. And I don't think that either one of these will work out of here. So I have the envelope. Thought I would use the envelope piece to punch with. I'm trying to decide. I may wait until we get to that point so I can decide which I want to use, because we might just use cardstock as opposed to that. I just want to see how it's all coming together first. So now here is how this works, okay? So we have this piece here. I'm going to go ahead and do some of the burnishing of the score lines. This one was not folding very good, so I want to straighten it out. There we go. That's better. That's going to go, whoops, other way around. This one's going to go on here like that, okay? And this is going to go behind here like that. And this one is going to go like this. Now I could flip them around if I wanted. I don't know that it really matters. Maybe, I'm not sure if I like it one way or the other, but basically that is the triangle fold piece. So I don't know if you can see that very well, but that's how that's going to work. And they're going to go on top of this card base. All right. So that they'll open up like this. And then this flips open. If I can get my fingers to work it, this will flip open. So I need to do a piece for the inside of our card here, but that's kind of how this one is coming together. And then it gets a belly band around it. That is going to be the same DSP as that right there. So we have to create a front still, okay? And that's where I was saying, like, I might want to punch out of the envelope and or not. So still sort of deciding some of that. So right now, let me go ahead and cut for the inside of the card a piece of white cardstock. I know I have some. Here it is. I know I had it out. So let me get my white piece here. And this one, I need it to be 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. like so. Okay, that's going to go on the inside of that piece right there. So I say we go ahead and start to put some things together so that we can decide sentiments and all the fun stuff. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this on the outside. Nothing goes on here. We don't need to do anything. It's just a background. Okay, and we don't want it to be, you know, more than just the background, because the triangle pieces that are going to come over it, they need to be the focal point, right? And so that's why I say we don't need to do anything on here. Now we do need to put a sentiment on here, and so let's see. I think on the outside, I'm going to have enjoy your special day. And on the inside, let's do sweetest birthday wishes. And I think we'll do the B again. Let me put this away before I lose it. I think that B is so cute. What do y'all think? Need another block. Okay, so there we have that. All right, so here it is, sweetest birthday wishes. It's going to go right here. Perfect. All right, then let's put the B right above it. I think I have room. Yeah, perfect. Let's do that. What do y'all think? What do you think about a triangle, double triangle fold card? All right. So this is going to go on the inside for us to write a sentiment. Okay. So let's get that glued down. And all right, so that's that. All right, then the next thing is to bring on our pieces here. And so in my opinion, the easiest way to do this is just to line them up right here. And the flowers are gotta go on the top. Okay, then flip it over like so. And we're going to just glue this down. So do one side. And then oops. Glue down the other side like so. All right, so that's what the front looks like. Okay. It's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, so then this gets added to this piece right here. And now I hope you can see that the early espresso is not necessarily a bad choice, right? Because you don't even hardly see it, but it does provide a nice line to the whole image of itself. So I'm just really liking this a lot. Such a fun design and not very hard at all, to be honest. And you get a very fun looking card. All right, so let me get rid of my foam mat. It's going to be in my way. Okay, so now just lining this up on here. Getting it straight. There we go. Nice. Okay. So that is our card, and then it flips up and you have this. It's really a nice contrast. You're right, Michelle. That's the perfect word for it. All right, so now we have this belly band that we're going to make. And what I thought was so fun that I saw on the video is that their belly band has like a little banner end on it. And so I wanted to do that here. And to be honest, I don't ever do these very well, so I'm still a folder in order to get the right kind of look. But it ends up with this little flag ending over here on this side, like so. I just think it's kind of fun. And so this kind of wraps around and over like so. And then it has the little flag out here to close it, which I think is super fun. And so we can go ahead and attach this here with some glue. And I'm not doing it all the way to the end of that because I want it to be kind of open a little bit at that part of it. I am trying to line it up. So let's see, I have this like so. Nice. All right, so now we have to create our front. All right, and this is where some of our fun things can come into play. So I'm trying to decide. I use this as kind of like a guide for me, and so I want to use these punches that I had, but not those pieces. So I am thinking about the Daffodil Delight, I think, should be the circle. So let's just go ahead and give it a go. And then if we want to change it, we can. So stay tuned and tell me what we think, because I could do the early espresso. So let me grab that and let's just see what we think. All right, and then I have white that I want to use for the top piece. Now I could also do that with the envelope piece, and so that's the other thing I was kind of thinking about, was having that. But I don't know that I need it because I don't know if that's really what I want, because I'm going to put some flowers on there. So I really kind of like the yellow. And I like this funky design. So we have these two pieces, right? I don't want that. And of course, we have to probably put a bee on here. But I want to get some flowers because I did not get them out. So I have flowers. So let's see here. I need a smaller flower. And I have that and that also. I got quiet. All right. I think. All right. I'm going to move this out of the way. Move this. Move these so we can see what we got. All right. So we might want this smaller. With these guys on here. I could even go this direction with our flower. And put that on there. And now I'm wondering like what it would look like with the early espresso, because with the yellow on the flowers, I wonder if that would almost make them stand out more. And I have a feeling it would. So we have this. Or this. What do you think? Early espresso or daffodil delight? And of course we'll put a B on. What do y'all think? Meanwhile, I'm gonna get my stamp out that says enjoy your special day. And I am going to look for I guess I could still use the I'd rather use black, I think, or early espresso, but I don't have it close by, and I'm not going to get up and go traipsing to find it unless I have it in my little bag over here of goodies. But I don't think so. No, I don't. Espresso. Yeah, I think so. I do. I think so too. Yeah. I think that's going to be nice right there. I'm also contemplating the sentiment on the outside because I don't have to have it. It's not like mandatory by any means. All right, so I'm going to glue this down with multi-purpose liquid glue on here. And then we will put the flowers on. Most of them will go on with dimensionals, but I think I might glue one down just to be a little different. So I think I might glue this. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll put them all on with dimensionals. Why not? Why not? All right, so let's see. I need just one on here and one here and one here and here. So let's put the big one on first. Like so. And then this guy. of him like this. I don't know if I could do that. Like so. Very fun. I wish I had the bigger circle available, but I don't. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, I know what I can do. I can just do a little tiny tag with that hello. I think that would be fun. I haven't used that stamp, but I think it's cute. I think that would be really cute. All right, let's do this. And we are almost done. All right, so here's our little hello. But I think it's perfect for what we have. Yes. Okay. So let's stamp it onto the little tag here at the end. Like so. I'm even going to tilt it a little bit. All right. And then we're going to cut that off. It's going to go right here. Like that. So our little bitty hello right there. So cute. Okay, and then this is going to go right next to it. Like so. So it's a little bit off center, just a little bit. Okay, and then this will go on with some dimensionals across here. So we just need dimensional and a dimensional. Fun card. Hi, Anne. Great to have you join us. Thanks for joining us. All right, so this is here, like so. And then we just have our bee to add. So we'll just add our little bee on here. And we're just gonna get him on here, like so. Very cute. How do you think? Love it, right? It's so fun. All right, let's take it apart and just make sure it's all working good, okay? And I especially love this little flag over here, but the belly band just slides off. Feels like it's a little tad tight, but we do have a lot here. This opens up, and then you have the inside. Sweetest birthday wishes, like this. And then this closes back, and the belly band goes back on. Ooh, there we go. Very cute. Fun. Very fun. Love it. Those are our cards for today. So 2 fun folds. We've had a whole month of fun folds, and so I was going to get out the ones that we have made to share. So let's just see. Let me just take these away. Let me get my phone out of the way. Clear some stuff back so we have room on the screen. Okay. And so these are the cards, you know, the kit was designed to make. And they are beautiful, y'all. You don't have to do any type of alternate cards, but for those of us that love it, we have to, right? And so we have this. I got a few extra kits myself, to be honest. All right, then we made this card. This was a fun card right here, okay? And we have the little stand-up card that we made. Last week we made this one with a belly band, and it opens up, and it's so fun, right? So fun. And so I had made one of those beforehand. So it's a little bit different, and I'll show you that one here. Just let me get my belly band back on to it. There. So we had that one, and then this one. So very fun. And then we made this card. So this was an angle, what do I want to call this? Tent, like a tent card. And we used that DSP as well. Okay. So fun. Oh, I guess I could have put some hives behind there. And then we have this card, which I don't think I put together in the right direction. This thing, so this panel here, I don't know if y'all heard me talk about this, but this panel, I put it behind here, and it was supposed to go on the front of here, and that's would have allowed this to stand up a little bit better. I think it's just fine how it is, but yes, they are beautiful. Thank you so much, Anne. We have had so much fun. And then to add today's cards in here, these are just amazing and beautiful. I just love them all. So I appreciate all of you for joining me each week and sharing in the fun crafting time on Sunday. And I look forward to next week when we can play with the new kit that is coming, and it is Inked Occasions. So I hope you all have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. And I thank you again. Bye-bye, everybody.